Yeah, we had an unintentional draw.
Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Minneapolis. We are in round 11. Taylor Lane versus Michael Swales here. And
yeah, we had an unintentional draw last round.
okay.
So Taylor is actually the last 10-0 left in the field. This is, I guess, your king of the hill for real match. Michael Swales, one of the 3 players on 9-0-1.
That always screws everything up when we try to run our who's still undefeated storyline.
Right. Technically, there's 4 undefeateds left. There's 3 9-0-1s. Looks like a pretty straightforward twin deck for Taylor Lane. We've just been handed deckless, but I always like the puzzle of figuring it out.
Yeah, because that's what the players have to do as well,
exactly.
right? You know, and that's a peak there for Michael.
What does that mean? A peak and a... Is that an APAC island?
It looks like he's on twin as well.
It's a promotional island from back in the day.
It is. It's one of those European...
Oh, Guru. It's a Guru land.
That is not a Guru land.
Not a Guru land?
No,
Is it?
Guru lands are really sweet.
That one looks pretty nice.
That one looks great, too. I won't lie. Spreading seas for Michael is going to lock down one of the red mana sources for Taylor.
Yeah, that's fine.
It swales on... well, is that, and that's a lighthouse.
It is a lighthouse.
So it's blue-red.
I'm assuming he's on twin of some sort.
I mean, I can now see a Cryptic Command and a Lightning Bolt in this hand,
I also
which is
see a
kind of
Pestermite.
cheating. Yeah, all right. That's cheating, but yes.
And
it's
a Deceiver Exarch.
So I haven't seen Spreading Seas out of a twin deck, though. It's kind of an interesting list.
This Spreading Seas not doing as much work as possible as this turning a blue land into just a blue land, but it does take him off a red, which can certainly matter here.
Yeah, he also, I think, his mana curve was set up such that he wanted to spend turn 2 drawing a card. So he didn't want to point it at the fetch land. That doesn't work.
Right.
APAC, I was right.
It is APAC, yeah.
An APAC Hong Kong island.
Yeah, because those are from different areas of the world, right? Like there's European
they're real world stuff.
scenes and there's Hong Kong. And HGH Rant does know everything. If any of you have ever watched the stream and been in the chat, HGH Rant, you know him. Him or her, actually. I've never met HGH Rant in real life, so yeah. But they are a hero. There's no doubt about that. Serum Visions draws a card here for Taylor. And both players are going to be jockeying for position here as they maneuver their way into not only the combo pieces, but also some amount of ways to protect the combo. This will probably take a little while. I mean, Michael could just get aggressive here.
And step Pestermite.
And then just rip Splinter Twin and just do it. But Taylor's going to have some mana untapped here potentially, so.
Okay, Splinter Twin, if you add all the twin lists together, it's the 3rd most played archetype.
All right, so
and now here we're at the top of the Swiss, and it's at least half of the undefeateds.
Yeah. Michael's going to go down to 17, so he's going to get a shock land here. This time it's Steam Vents. And are we going to see him just run out an Exarch here? He can do it. He can tap down blue mana source. You know, we noticed that Taylor decided to play his Steam Vents tap there. And that means that the blue source is vulnerable, so he's going to have to use something like a Remand or a Mana Leak on this Deceiver Exarch now. Doesn't have a choice.
Well, he could call the bluff. I mean, it's kind of a bluff. There's no Splinter Twin. That's really scary, though. Taylor, I think, Taylor is 100% correct to cast that Remand there. Otherwise, he opens up a window where Swales can just land Splinter Twin and win the game.
Yeah.
It's a weird dance. I mean, this is definitely a lot of what modern gameplay is about. You get down to the details, and the way you beat the twin deck is you never give them that window.
Right.
Right. You have to attack the creature half of the combo, and it can be so tempting sometimes to just wait, especially if you have a removal spell. Oh, I'm gonna fizzle the Splinter Twin by Path of Exiling the Pestermite after the Splinter Twin gets pointed at it, and the twin player always has an answer.
They
to that.
always have that. Yeah.
You have to
Dispel or something gets you.
You have to just attack the creatures and never give them the window to do it in the first place.
All right, so Michael kind of going off on his turn. He managed to tap out Taylor there with that end-step Deceiver Exarch play, and that's allowed him to play Grim Lavamancer, Deceiver Exarch, and Serum Visions all in this turn. And he knows that his opponent can't go off. He's just looking at, you know, he's tapped out, so there's just no way that Taylor can win the game on his next turn. And so Michael's just going to bolster up his board state here and put himself in a position where a couple of turns from now,
yeah, it's the flip side of that same coin. Just like you can't give them the window to go off. If they're tapped out on your turn, well, they can't, end-step creature, untapped Splinter
Yes.
Twin.
Becomes sort of this weird tempo game at some point where, you know, if Michael can keep being the one who's ahead here, he can protect that.
And now he's kind of forcing Taylor to react to the existence of an Exarch.
That's right. The Exarch's a big deal, and also the Grim Lavamancer can matter too if Pestermite's part of Taylor's plans here, because it can just be statically sitting there and interrupting that, and also it can just start hitting him here and there too.
Right. Yeah, Grim Lavamancer was sort of Patrick Dickman's first innovation on this list. You know, the list he won that European Grand Prix with was tempo twin, quote unquote. It could just burn your opponent out from 20. Like the threat of the combo would kind of paralyze them long enough that Lavamancer, Lightning Bolt.
And we see that Taylor just has to pass a turn with all of his mana up, and that lets Michael Swales just attack for one with his Exarch and say go. And here's Lightning Bolt on Lavamancer. And it doesn't really look like this is a fight that Michael can fight. I mean, he's got the tools if he really wants to protect Lavamancer, but he's taking on quite a bit of risk.
Right. As
Taylor's got 4 untapped mana here, and it's not like Michael can just haphazardly fire off a cryptic command and just hope.
Yeah, and how important is Plan B? I mean, the Lavamancer is just Plan B. It's not like he even has a stocked graveyard, right? He's got 3 cards.
He's got 3 cards, but the only other thing it does keep Pestermites from. I mean, he locks out 1 card of Taylor's combo.
Sure.
But it's not worth the fight, and he has to let it just get 1 for 1 there. All right. Steam Vent's tapped. And Taylor says go. And here's Michael. He's going to use his loot house here. Desolate Lighthouse is getting activated. He's going to draw a Lightning Bolt. He's got his hand is stock. It is filled with gas. He's got Double Bolt, Remand, Snapcaster Mage, Cryptic Command, Pestermite. A lot of spells.
None of which are Splinter Twin.
None of which are Splinter Twin. And he's really trying to decide which one he can afford to give up here. I mean, Cryptic Command is a little clunky in this matchup in some ways. It's also his most powerful spell.
Chooses Pestermite.
Wow, Pestermite. He does not crack his fetch land either. Draws another Snapcaster Mage. I wonder if he could just start burning here. He's got 12 points of burn in his hand here.
It's true.
And he is pecking away with that Deceiver Exarch. All right, Snapcaster for Taylor Lane on end step. And it looks like he's going to start the Lightning Bolt plan here. I'm assuming he's aiming this at Michael.
I assume.
He could aim it at Deceiver Exarch if he's got another one in his hand. No, he's aiming it at Michael, so that's going to drop him down to 12.
And give him a 2-power attacker.
And give him an attacker here.
Effectively dealing 5.
Yeah. And I mean, this is a deck. You know, doing that, what Taylor just did is there's a whole deck based around that. It also runs Young Pyromancer.
You see there's a stomping ground on Taylor's side of the board, by the way. He's actually Tarmo Twin.
Oh, he is Tarmo Twin.
He's Tarmo Twin, yeah. He's got Tarmogoyfs in his list.
Because we see these,
mana.
That's interesting, because we'll see this green mana float up every once in a while in these decks just for Ancient Grudge out of the board. And then some of them are actually running green spells like Tarmogoyf. So.
Right. I mean, Dickman at the PT went as far as Scavenging Ooze. No Scavenging Oozes in this list, but 4 Tarmogoyfs.
Okay. And so Michael is going to end step use Lightning Bolt to take down the Snapcaster Mage. I think he's realized that he's not going to be the one to burn out Taylor necessarily here.
No, yeah. When your opponent bolts you kind of got to reassess where you stand in the damage
Exactly,
race.
And he's done that. And he's now cast the Snapcaster Mage as well, and that's going to get snared. So Spell Snare is going to counter Snapcaster here, which is one of the best targets for it. Like that and Goyf are pretty happy. But before
Michael
that,
wants to fight?
Yeah, he might fight for this.
He's got a Remand. Oh, remanding his own Snapcaster is pretty good here.
Yeah. So this is a tricky play that we see in Modern pretty often, Randy. Why don't you explain what's happening here?
Right, so Spell Snare is pointed at Snapcaster Mage, and most people remand their opponent's spells, but if remanding that Spell Snare is not really all that exciting, you draw a card, but your opponent gets a Spell Snare. By remanding his own Snapcaster, Swales, he still gets the card draw off remand, but instead of his opponent having a Spell Snare in hand, Michael will have a Snapcaster, and that Spell Snare will be in the yard.
Pretty nice way to use remand there.
Definitely.
Not obvious at first reading, but when you see it happen, you're like, oh, that's what that does.
If your opponent is countering your stuff and you have a remand, probably the right play is to remand your own spell and fizzle the counter.
Sure, that's fine.
And that happens. So Michael doesn't add to his board on there, but he seems to have come out ahead for sure. He still has his
and all that was during Taylor's end step, of course.
There's a Flame Slash there for Michael. Another card that Patrick Diekman had used. He's really had a big effect on Modern.
Oh, yeah.
You know, his run at the PT really highlighted what a specialist he is, and now everybody's playing his decks. It's got to be pretty cool for him.
Right. I mean, the fact that he's innovated the same archetype twice in the last 6 months is kind of awesome.
Wait, no, I'm gonna.
All right, so this is end step Pestermite. Taylor wants to untap his own land, but Michael might respond to that. I mean, if he's planning to bolt the Pestermite, he may as well do it before Taylor gets an extra land to work with. Snapcaster. He's going to Snapcaster bolt it. Is there a bolt? There's a bolt in his yard, right? Yeah.
Indeed. So Snapcaster Bolt takes down Pestermite here.
And yeah, Michael peeked at Taylor's hand way back at the beginning of the game.
He did.
And saw that Splinter Twin. So he knows this is Taylor. Taylor might as well say check at this point.
Exactly. That's exactly what's happening. There's another Pestermite.
But yeah, Michael has a second Lightning Bolt.
Going to eat a Lightning Bolt.
This resolves. I still want to tap down a Synvent.
Oh, the Pestermite trigger. They never clarified. Yeah. Tap a land. So, all right, Michael was able to kill both Pestermites. I think Taylor liked his chances there. The first Pestermite, with 5 mana, he was able to play the first Pestermite, untapping a third land so that he could follow up with a second Pestermite. But
right. And then that usually is enough, but now he's
Michael
drawn a
just had
Tarmogoyf
2
off the
bolts.
top here. And he is going to look to start getting the beatdown plan going with Tarmogoyf. He's got Michael down to 11 here, but he's also only got 2 cards left in his hand here. And
one of which is a twin, right?
Yeah, and I think that Michael knows just that one at this point.
From the peak way back? I think I agree.
The other one happens to be a Snapcaster Mage. Not too bad here. Not sure how big Tarmogoyf is. Usually you just guess 4 or 5 at this point. 4 or 5-ish.
Instant creature land. Have we seen a sorcery? Yeah, sorcery.
Yeah, there's Serum Visions.
Tarmogoyf is like the one creature in these lists you don't want to put Splinter Twin on. Doesn't really do anything.
No. So Tarmogoyf just out of Flame Slash range here.
Yeah, 4/5.
And
can't be blocked
here
by
comes Goyf.
Can't be blocked by Deceiver Exarch either. It's a clock.
It is. Michael has left a mountain in his hand here. He can use his Desolate Lighthouse to turn that into potentially a real card. And a second Goyf, so running Goyfs off the top.
So there's a Cryptic Command in Michael's hand. He could dismiss this, counter it, and draw a card.
And by dismiss, you mean the magic card dismiss.
I do mean the magic card dismiss.
For people that haven't seen it, that's
worked in
one
English
of the
too.
modes.
So
yes, it did. I liked it.
I'm not sure. Is that the right line though? Like the first Tarmogoyf alone is. I think I like counter draw.
It's just really annoying because Taylor has 2 lands or 2 cards in his hand here.
Yeah, I mean it means that
one of them doesn't matter, but he's got 1 unknown card.
It does mean that Michael's not going to be able to use the Lighthouse. So it's like the draw card isn't quite as good as it otherwise would be, since he was kind of going to see that card anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd rather draw it than loot, but his game is really dig for Splinter Twin before he dies to Tarmogoyf.
That's the idea here. And he's got some time. He draws another Cryptic off the top. He also drew Grim Lavamancer with the Cryptic command, which normally can help mitigate a Tarmogoyf at least,
it's
but
it's a chump blocker. It buys a turn.
This time it's just going to block, yeah.
I mean, turn's not nothing.
Oh.
It's 2 cards with the Lighthouse.
Attack for 1 with Deceiver Exarch that's going to knock Taylor down to 15. But Michael's left back 2 blockers here.
Yeah.
As he doesn't want to get hit by Tarmogoyf and then lightning bolted or bolted.
Bolt Snapcaster.
Maybe something like an
Taylor
Electrolyze.
already did. Yeah, Taylor already did Bolt Snapcaster once.
Yeah.
Michael's trying to figure out whether he can take a hit. There's no way. You just chump, right?
Yep. He's just going to chump block with Snapcaster Mage. Mountain for Taylor.
Activate
Pass.
the Lighthouse.
Lighthouse.
Are you a Splinter Twin? No. And he is...
He's going to have to discard the fetch because he doesn't want to take the extra damage from it.
Yeah, I mean, he'd love to be able to defend his Splinter Twin with that Cryptic command, but he has to get 2 land in play for that line to work.
Right.
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's what he's playing toward.
There's one of them. Flame Slash.
Oh, Flame Slash plus Grim Lavamancer.
And he can Lavamancer it to finish it off.
Nice. Yeah, no, the Lavamancer's a lot better than a chump blocker.
It absolutely is. Well, that's only because he had another chump blocker, though.
Fair.
And Taylor says that's fine, but it's really not.
It's not fine.
No.
No, Michael just bought himself a lot of time.
Tons of time. And yet another land off the top for Taylor here. He's sitting at 15. There's Snapcaster Mage.
What does that do? What does he have?
Probably
Like a Serum Visions
Serum
or something?
Visions, yeah. Yeah, it was Serum Visions.
Okay.
So dig.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor has the other half of the combo. Like, between them, they could kill, like, 2 other opponents. If they could just combine the Splinter Twin in Taylor's hand with the Exarch on Michael's side of the board. Lighthouse still not revealing that Splinter Twin. Or did it?
No, it did not.
What just happened?
But Taylor scooped. I guess he just didn't like the look of the way things were going there.
Really? Did he show a Splinter Twin that we didn't see?
I did not see him show a Splinter Twin, no. I mean, sometimes people will do that. They'll just flash it.
Right, right, right.
And it's
I didn't see it.
We won't see that, but I did not see that happen.
Rashad, can you ask our judge on the floor if there was a Splinter Twin flashed? I didn't see it. I mean, look, Michael Swales looked like he was going to win that game.
No, I agree.
I mean, I'm not surprised at all about the result of the game. And maybe Taylor was tired of waiting. I mean, Taylor had almost no game going on. His opponent is drawing, is looting. He's got a handful of cards. Like, we know he had a Cryptic command. So even if Taylor had come up with Pestermite,
yeah.
If Taylor comes up with a Pestermite, it just dies to Grim Lavamancer. If Taylor comes up with an Exarch, he's got to worry about all the cards in Michael's hand. I don't know, but its game did not look like it was.
None of these
100%.
are valid excuses for.
I mean, he could be worried about time. We're 36 minutes left in the round, but we're only. That means we're. Yeah, 36 minutes is not the point where I would scoop an undecided game 1.
Right. Maybe we could peek in at our other game, Rashad. We've got Pat Cox on the secondary table right there, and he's playing Domain Zoo, and he is battling Josh Utter-Layton playing Birthing Pod here. And it looks like Josh has a pretty well-developed board. Those tokens, are we assuming they're voice tokens or?
Probably. What else makes tokens in that deck?
I don't think anything else. Oh, Lingering Souls.
Lingering Souls. They have Lingering Souls in this list?
Josh loves Lingering Souls. Remember he played it in John's?
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a Lingering Souls.
Chained to the Rocks.
Wow.
And it looks like there's nothing in the graveyard.
Yeah,
for
Revelark does leave the battlefield. The ability triggers, but there's nothing in the yard.
Hallelujah. This is the first time that's ever happened. And here come the beatdowns.
Yeah, Pat's lining up an attack.
Send in the squad.
He double block Geist, right? With the 2 tokens?
You must.
Yeah.
It's got to be really annoying to let that Aven Mind Sensor live, but...
Right. Especially when you have 1/1 flyers.
Yeah, you know what's more annoying?
I mean, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a Dismember for the Mind Sensor.
Oh, nice. Taking 4.
No, he took 2. He paid 1 and 1 counter on the Wall of
Oh,
Roots.
I meant from the Angel.
Oh, yeah. It takes 4 from the Angel. 6 total.
All right, well, that was a flurry of action as we just jumped over to the secondary
Wow, Tribal Flames to the face.
And I'm assuming that's going to put Josh at very nearly dead here.
Yeah, he's got the board stabilized, but
he took 9.
Pat's shuffling a couple of cards.
And he took 2 from Dismembered as well. So he took 11 just in that sequence. Wall of Roots and a land,
and
not a lot
of
going
cards.
on. And he's
Josh is
he's on empty.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Was that the match? Looks like that handshake
there was
looked
a
like
handshake,
the match.
Yeah.
You don't normally handshake game 1. I mean, maybe you do. If it's a particularly interesting or compelling game, you will. Nope, reaches over for the match slip. Pat Cox. Zoo lives.
Wow.
Fights on. I believe
the wildest Nicodle running rampant on the field here. So.
Yeah, those guys were. They definitely came into the day at 7-2. I believe they both won round 1 and were 8-2.
Okay.
Yeah, I've confirmed. I can confirm that. So, Josh eliminated from top 8 contention with the 3rd loss. The 3rd loss, you're not going to make top 8. You can still make some points. I mean, I think Josh would be content with a top 16 here.
Okay.
I mean, he's definitely questing for pro points.
Is he in win out for top 16 then?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, if he wins the next 4, he gets top 16. I think is how this plays out. I mean, he might win out. I'm not sure that's guaranteed. He may only wind up with a top 32 with a win out, but that's probably how it works. Pat Cox, though, definitely still live for top 8.
Obviously not ideal, but there's a lot of cards to board out.
Wonder what Taylor's winning percentage was there. Let's
take a look at our upcoming webcast schedule. We've got tons of Magic for you in the coming months, starting off with the big one, Pro Tour Journey into next weekend from Atlanta. That's Theros Block Constructed, which is a really exciting format if you haven't had a chance to watch it. Well, I don't know about Theros Block specifically, but Block Constructed in general is a really exciting one because the teams really have an opportunity to break a format. It's something we don't get to see that often. Grand Prix Atlanta, same city the next weekend, though, May 24th. I think
a lot of the pros will hang out for that, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
I'm just hanging out, yeah.
And then the weekend after that is Grand Prix Manchester. That's going to be Theros Block as well. So there'll usually be a follow-up Block GP, and then we kind of call it good.
Right.
You know, because the formats don't have a lot of longevity, but there's a lot to do at the beginning of
I think a small card set like that means it's not the deepest format.
Right.
It's not like you're going to get this, nice metagame dance that can sustain months and months of activity.
Yeah.
The cool thing about Block Constructed is just nobody has any idea what's good.
Right.
And, the various teams can just kind of hole up in their testing houses and then find out who's better.
Yeah, I love that. And then as we move into June, there's Grand Prix Moscow, Grand Prix Chicago in consecutive weeks, both standard. And GPDC and Milan are on the same weekend, and those are both Theros Block Limited. So a whole lot of Magic for you if you are got a little free time during the summer and want to hang out with us and watch some cards. We will be here for you. Back to our feature match here. We've got Taylor Lane down 1 game to Michael.
Yeah, he was in a losing position. Unless we missed something, he wasn't completely dead. I'm trying to figure out, let's say he wasn't completely dead. That there's a decent chance we just, Splinter Twin got flashed that we didn't see. But if that didn't happen.
He's 12%.
You think 12%?
That's where I had him at, 12%er.
I might take the under.
Yeah, he was way behind.
Right. So, if you have a 5% chance of winning, how long do you play it out?
Like 6 or 7 more minutes.
I think I agree with you, but.
Yeah. Like you're going to need consecutive draws. So if your first 2 of the next 3 draws aren't the things that you need to start winning, you can start moving towards packing up. You don't have that many decisions at that point, so your turns are going to be very quick. I'm always just a little hesitant to scoop in a deck that can literally draw 2 cards and just win the game. Like, it does mean that your opponent has to have nothing, which is incredibly unlikely.
I hear you. Sometimes your opponent does have nothing.
That's right. Serum Visions for Taylor draws him a Dispel, and he's going to scry 2 here. Can't quite see what he's up to there. Serum Visions kick things off also for Michael Swale. So we're going to see this in this type of matchup. The players are going to jockey for position here and eventually try to set up a turn.
Yeah, first couple turns you can tap out with impunity.
Yes, there's no punishment.
It's not scary until turn 3.
And there's a second Serum Visions. For Michael.
Desolate Lighthouse did really good work for Michael in that
It
that
did. He
first
got
game.
to use it a couple times there. I see.
I mean, it essentially prompted a concession. If we, yeah.
There's a Kiki Jiki in hand there for Michael as well, which is interesting. Looks like he just wants to hit some lands here, though. I think he may have put one back on top as well. He's got a couple hiding at the back of his hand, but he's got tons of gas here. And Relic of Progenitus.
I mean, he beat Snapcaster Mage.
And it makes it like a one-sided fight, right? Because he can... Oh, interesting. I wouldn't... What do you think about that?
Which?
Oh, he moved the Serum Visions into the exile zone and said, actually, I'd rather do my land.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's probably fine. All right, here's a Gataxian Probe, though, which is going to be interesting because the hand knowledge is really, really powerful in this type of matchup.
Right.
And it is quite a hand here. Deceiver XR, Kiki Jiki, there's a Pestermite, double Remand, and a Mountain.
So he's got the combo if he can get to 5, but
yes,
he's only got 3 lands.
Correct.
Taylor paid 2 life for that so that he would have access to 3 mana.
And I wonder if he's going to Snapcaster that Serum Visions.
Sure.
You know, that was the one that I was...
Sure.
I myself on the 14 actually. Right, so I...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
Taylor's down to 14. Doesn't really matter here. It can if he gets a little bit lower because of the whole Lightning Bolt Snapcaster thing, but... Yeah, he's doing it. That's interesting. The fact that he decided to take the Scalding Tarn to the Serum Visions could be a pretty big deal. Serum Visions is very, very powerful in this type of situation where you need specific subsets of cards from your deck, and the other ones don't do as much. Relic of Progenitus also does work against Tarmogoyf, of course.
Right.
Is that an Ancient Grudge there for Taylor? Is that a card he'd bring in?
I don't know.
Looks like one. All right, attack.
Flame Slash?
Could be a Flame Slash. All right.
Oh, interesting. X-Arc mid-combat
Yeah.
will kill the Snapcaster Mage.
It will not. There's a Combust here. So
threatens to kill the Snapcaster,
it does
but Taylor
indeed.
has the answer.
So very nice for Taylor Lane there. Not only does he take out a potential combo piece from Michael Swales, he also gets to keep his Snapcaster and keep the beats flowing.
And that was Ancient
Grudge. All right. So, you know, that Relic of Progenitus just didn't really get to do anything. It exiled a couple of lands.
Right. 8 half an Ancient Grudge.
And 8 half an Ancient
basically
Grudge.
did nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed right to bring in. It was going to do stuff.
I like that a lot. I wonder what the Ancient Grudge is going to target else. You know, is Vidalcan Shackles?
I mean, a lot of these guys have spell skites.
Spell Skite, there you go. Thank you. That is definitely what it is.
I mean, spell skite just beats Splinter Twin.
Yeah, now that you say it, it seems really obvious. I just forgot at the time. All right, Remand.
This is the last call to register for the standard sealed event. Last call to register for the standard sealed event. If you wish to play
And here's a negate on Remand.
11 a.m. You must be in line to register right now. Last call to register.
And he's going to Remand his Remand and dispel that. So they have a huge counterfight over Serum Visions. Yeah.
Yeah, and the result is neither Remand resolves.
Yes.
So no cards for Michael.
Brutal.
Both Remands got countered. And
that is
Serum
just
Visions
brutal.
resolves for Taylor, so he gets to go fishing.
Yikes. Serum Vision is not the card that you normally see the counterfight over in this matchup, but
right. I mean, Michael clearly wanted to cycle his Remands.
Exactly.
And Taylor knew from that Gitaxian probe way back that Michael was pinched on lands. He's got Kiki Jiki in his hand, but only 4 lands. I guess there's 2 red sources.
Mm-hmm. And he finds
okay.
a 3rd red
5th
source
land,
here.
so Kiki Jiki can come down. Probably will resolve it while Taylor's tapped out.
He could, although that opens it up to Lightning Bolt, which is pretty scary.
You gonna not resolve it?
No, I think you do resolve it. It's just it does nothing. Like I guess it attacks for 2.
I mean, it gets into play. I mean, now every Pestermite or Deceiver Exarch is a lethal threat. That's what it does.
It does force Taylor to have a bolt of some sort. All right, Kiki Jiki.
Yeah.
Kiki Jiki gets into the red zone.
Doesn't happen all that often.
No, it doesn't.
Can Taylor kill it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he does have a lightning bolt, doesn't he? But first, he's going to peek with Gitaxian Probe?
I think he is. I mean, you know, there's an argument here for do I even need to bother with Kiki Jiki here? And he does. And Taylor said, wow, you have really good cards. He has a Snapcaster Mage freshly drawn as well.
You can't wait with this. This is one of these situations where you're tempted to wait for the lightning bolt, but
no way.
No, there's a cryptic command in your opponent's hand.
Yeah.
Get Kiki Jiki off the board.
Yeah. And now he has Snapcaster Bolt as well to really bring the heat down if he wants. He's going to say go, though. And there's a Flame Slash that can help stem the bleeding a little bit for Michael. He can take down Snapcaster.
I guess at 11, you kind of do have to worry about the random 2-1, don't you?
You do.
Does Taylor defend it?
He could. He's not really, though. He's got a Remand here. And there is a Pestermite off the top, which maybe that's a safer Pestermite now that the Flame Slash is gone. And speaking of Pestermite, here it is. So Taylor can either Remand this, or he can let it resolve, or he can Snapcaster Bolt it after it resolves.
All true.
These are all valid options depending on what he wants to do.
He knows his opponent has a Cryptic Command in hand, so I think he should kill the Pestermite.
Just get it off the table.
I mean, maybe you could, cycling Remand is okay. I think I would Snapcaster Bolt it.
Okay. It also gets you more pressure, right?
Exactly.
Start attacking again.
He could even resolve his own Pestermite, untap a land, then play the Snapcaster Lightning Bolt play.
I like that.
I think I like that line.
He knows Michael's only card is Cryptic, so he has free reign to do whatever he wants.
And because he's got the Remand, he's set up to top deck a Splinter Twin. I guess he would need one more land for that play, but
yeah,
I would do all that. I would Pestermite, untap. It looks like Taylor's going to do exactly this. I like this line of play a lot.
All right, you figured it out, Randy, and he is well on his way here to that exact line. And it's going to leave him with both Snapcaster Mage and Pestermite on the battlefield against no non-land permanents for his opponent, and with holding just Cryptic Command in his hand.
It's a 3-turn clock.
Taylor is down to 7 here as well, so the Pestermite is good on multiple levels there for Michael, so it needs to go.
You have one card?
One card, yes. Now you can go.
Taylor said, now you can go.
I've done enough.
Yeah. There's a
Peek.
peek.
Go ahead.
But Michael's going to just say go.
And you're up.
Yeah. He can't afford to spend a blue mana and turn off Cryptic Command.
And he
Gonna
finds
do that end step.
Spell Snare, I believe. All right, take 4, drop to 7.
I think you can end. You can end step. You can afford to peek.
Yes, this does mean he doesn't Cryptic here, though.
Right, but end step. There's nothing Taylor can do that's that threatening. What did he see? Spell snare and. I didn't see. Did a good.
You know, I don't know what his other card is. Snapcaster Mage. It's Remand. Right, it's Remand.
Oh,
We
the
knew that,
Remand,
actually, yeah. So Snapcaster for Michael Swales could matter here. I mean, chaining Cryptic commands together can get out of hand pretty quickly, though. He's got to be careful.
Does he have a lightning bolt in his graveyard, Michael?
That is a good question and very relevant here. I don't know the answer. He's got a Flame Slash.
Wow, he's gonna Cryptic Command to what? Is tap draw a card?
Tap the team, draw a card. It gets
No,
remanded.
Remand. Scary.
I mean, he knew it was there. Draws an island. Attack with the team, drop you down to 3, and Taylor Lane says, you may go. So Cryptic should keep him alive for a turn, barring a Snapcaster Mage or a Lightning Bolt, but it is getting hot under the collar here for Michael.
Yeah, you don't want to be at. You're at 3. Your
Yeah.
opponent has a deck full of lightning bolts, has lethal attackers, and has Splinter Twins in his deck with Pestermite already in play.
Yep. Serum Visions for Taylor.
Funny. Do you counter tap?
That is interesting. I mean,
I think you respond with the Cryptic Command because you don't want to give him a draw phase to
For
find
sure.
Remand or something.
the question is, do you counter the Serum Visions and then tap, or do you want to draw a card?
He's going to Snapcaster? Targeting.
Maybe he's got another Cryptic down there or something.
I don't remember a Cryptic in the yard,
Yeah,
but
he'll
that's
pick up
plausible.
his graveyard soon. He's only got 3 more blue sources after that, so
Yep.
if he wants to cast Cryptic this turn, he can, but, you know, a Bolt or something seems...
That's fine. Yeah, I'll spell snare.
Spell Snare gets pointed at the
Wow.
Snapcaster. Right, we knew about that Spell Snare.
brutal.
Check out the graveyard. So he can Cryptic Command to counter the Spell Snare and tap those creatures. He's got so many options with Cryptic Command. It's like it's got 4 modes and he gets to pick 2 of them. Like all the modes are relevant, right? Draw a card's relevant, counter is relevant. I guess bounce doesn't do much here.
No.
Tapping the creatures is relevant. And what he counters is an interesting decision. He can counter. I guess countering Spell Snare is probably just better than countering Serum Visions here.
It depends on
Because
what he's trying to
having
get
his-
back.
I mean, having Snapcaster Resolve has to be at least relevant.
I mean, it can trade for the other Snapcaster and keep him alive potentially.
Right, right.
Wow, this is...
I don't think there's a Lightning Bolt there. I think there's
I
a
don't think
Flame
there's either.
Slash.
I think so too.
Which, the fact that it's a sorcery, it's not a great Snapcaster target.
Confirm, no bolts.
Okay, so he counters the Spell Snare and draws a card. Snapcaster resolves and gives something flashback. He left up a red-green land, so it's not going to be the peak.
I don't think he has anything that
What is he giving
matters
flashback
here.
to?
Nothing. I think he's just going to use it to block.
Oops.
Serum Visions.
I guess he couldn't leave up peak because he didn't have enough blue mana.
No, he didn't.
He just defended his 2-1.
Yep. I mean, it means that he doesn't die this turn.
I mean, he could have tapped everybody with Cryptic Command to not die this turn.
Yeah, but he wanted to draw a card.
Now he
so
dies next
goes
turn to
1.
Pestermite.
Yeah.
You can go.
Land go. So big draw step here for Michael. I mean, I don't even know what he can draw. I guess, does he have Electrolyze in the deck? That would go a long way. He's got Lightning Bolt.
Wow, he's got Splinter Twin too, so he can make infinite lightning bolts with Snapcaster Mage. Or
Well,
not
he can
infinite,
make
but
at
he
least
can
another
start
one. Yeah.
like slogging his way through his graveyard.
This is very strong.
Yeah, now you Snapcaster, you make a Snapcaster and flashback Flame Slash to kill Pestermite main phase.
That's fine.
He's going to do the Lightning Bolt?
I think it's slightly better to use the sorcery, but
I guess he wants to keep the Flame Slash
Oh, to kill an Exarch.
to kill an Exarch.
Kill a future. I'll buy that.
Although the Exarch's lethal.
Oh, off the top!
Oh,
Threats
no.
of disloyalty on the Splintered Twin Snapcaster Mage.
It's a value fight. And what was that, a remand?
Wow.
A million things in my Horizon Academy. They're all in.
That is brutal. Threads of Disloyalty. He put it there with the Serum Visions, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess he did.
Yeah, so he's just like, yep, no
Probably
problem.
takes some of the sting out of watching your opponent
No kidding.
suit up their Snapcaster Mage if you know you're about to draw threads.
All right, he makes a copy. Copy resolves.
There's no lightning bolt.
He's
for
going to
lethal.
target negate.
Wait, is his opponent at 1?
And attack you
Yeah,
for
his
2.
opponent's at 1.
Yeah.
He's going to attack. Yes.
But he wanted to do negate first, you know, just to
might as well.
set it up. And that's going to do it for game 2 here. We are going to get a game 3. We've got a little over 14 minutes left in the round.
You know what?
That one took a while.
It's a good thing Taylor
Yeah.
conceded game 1 to
No
give himself
kidding.
time to win game 3.
Yeah, because that game took forever.
That game did, yeah.
And this next one might take a long time, too.
That could.
You can see on our back match, we've got Brian Kibler over there now. He was
Yep.
at one of our text tables. So.
Yeah, he's playing Nankare. They're chatting. They're done. Who won? You ask see if we can get a word from the judge about who won that match. Kibler looks very happy. Anand looks a little more stoical. Don't you think? Like, my read on the body language is that Kibler won.
Oh, that definitely.
It's table 131. Nankare and Brian Kibler.
Kibler did, in fact, win. So Kibler moves to 9-2. 7-2 yesterday. He's done what he needed to do so far today. 2 wins with a Big Zoo deck, which is basically the Kibler All-Star special.
You know, I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't know if Kibler won that. I think he just handed the slip back
Oh, I mean,
to Anand.
they both signed it.
Yeah.
Rashad, you said that
But
Kibler
usually
won?
the winner's the one that hands it over to the judge. We'll
find
double
out.
check that one for you. I'm curious.
Yeah, Kibler's deck very much cards he enjoys playing with. Knight of the Reliquary. It's Big Zoo, right? It's Knight of the Reliquary. No Domri Rod. Domri Rod got kicked out for Chandra Pyromaster.
Domri Ray's not going to be happy with Kibler.
He's not that good in the current metagame.
Domri likes to ride on airplanes.
Turns out dealing 1 damage is just more efficient than fighting in the current metagame.
Well, Kibler's
Now,
tweeting.
Kibler is now using an electronic device. I guess the match is over.
Yeah, the match
so he
is
can use
definitely
an
over.
electronic device at the table.
Yes. You saw that yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
He was standing up.
Standing up and shuffling. I have never gotten more favorites or retweets to a tweet. I took that picture of Kibler.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was my picture that was just floating around. I
that's-
didn't realize that's apparently the key to social media is just tweet pictures of Brian Kibler.
That's how he does it.
I get
Well,
it now.
and his dog.
Of course.
Got to get the Shiro tweets in there, too. Kibler did not win.
Anand won.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so we will not have Brian Kibler in the top 8 then.
Right? His
Still
tough year continues.
Yeah, no, he is not on track for platinum. He's been to, his fair share of Grand Prix. He's not the world traveler that some of the full-time professionals are. He's got a day job. But yeah, he's been playing a lot of the mid-range creature deck. Has not worked out well for him this year. Mulligan from Michael.
Yeah, his day job is marketer of playmats.
He actually had an opponent yesterday who was using his playmat against him.
That is. I'm just going to withhold. All right, back on our main feature match here. We've had a really interesting match here. 2 Splinter Twin decks, 2 different versions.
Mhm.
And it looks like Michael's going down to 6 cards
Yep.
here.
Keeps those.
Threads of Disloyalty.
I mean, it could have been almost anything with Michael at 1, but yes.
Fair.
Killing your opponent with a copy of their Snapcaster produced by their Snapcaster is pretty funny.
It's a lot of style there. Both cards go on top for Michael after the Serum Visions here. Taylor doesn't have one for himself. He just plays Scalding Tarn and ships turn back. And another Serum Visions is going to keep things moving forward for Michael as he peels a land and sees another Misty Rainforest and something else there. So again, these early stages of this matchup tend to be like this, where players are just sort of setting things up. But the big flurries will happen in a while, though that is interesting. Taylor has just drawn Tarmogoyf, which is definitely a game changer, you know, in the sense that he does have an angle that Michael doesn't, which is he can play a Tarmogoyf on turn 2 and say, here, you need to deal with this. And I'll be over here hitting you with this until you do. Where Michael,
I'll be setting up my combo game while you have to deal with my giant Tarmogoyf.
Exactly, and Michael's deck is all those slots that are the Tarmogoyf takes are taken towards more cards that either make the game go longer or help find him the pieces. So it's a different approach.
Yeah, it means Taylor's mana is sketchier. Like getting enough green mana to cast turn 2 Tarmogoyf into these lists is not trivial.
Right.
I mean, you're essentially just gambling.
And he's probably just going to run it out here. It could get spell snared, but we haven't seen one from Michael yet that I remember.
I don't even know if he runs them.
We've seen him from Taylor.
Correct.
And Goyf lands. Now, it's only a 2/3 right now, though, but Lightning Bolt won't kill it.
Right.
Flame Slash would. All right, they're spreading seas to put Taylor on blue-blue, but a little late.
Yeah.
You know, the turn after the Tarmogoyf comes down.
Well, it was a fetch land last turn. Like, he didn't...
Yeah.
Right, he waited with his fetch land and cracked it.
Yes, very adeptly, because now he gets to land Tarmogoyf. He doesn't need green for much else. And it's 2 damage to drop Michael down to 16. And he says, go. And we have an upkeep play here. Is it a Pestermite? It is. This is a properly aggressive Pestermite here.
Oh, yeah.
This is one line that Taylor's deck can take that the other one really can't, which is he's Pestermiting just to tap down mana here.
Right.
Ooh.
Oh, there's the Electrolyze.
Electrolyze, though, means at least, though,
Tarmogoyf's happy about this.
Tarmogoyf grows bigger by 2 there.
Yes, it does.
Uh-oh.
But it means Taylor's not threatening the combo.
No, but I just saw a card in Michael's hand.
Really? What did you see?
I think I saw his own threads.
Really?
Yeah, which has stolen many a Goyf in its day.
Crazy.
So now the game could potentially shift to Taylor being in protect my Tarmogoyf mode by using his counter spells. Instead of protecting a combo, he just protects this big threat, and it's big now.
It's definitely Threads of Disloyalty in Michael's hand.
Oh, baby.
And he's going to be able to leave 2 mana up.
4-minute extension for our feature match here. We're not at time yet. We're a little under 8 minutes, so they're probably sitting around
11 or 12.
Yeah, 11 or 12. Sorry, I might have been looking at the wrong clock.
Oh, so are we looking at the wrong clock?
I can't actually see the clock. All right, so apparently time has been called, and they got 4 minutes. I have to tune that out, Rashad. 3 minutes left now. Okay, so things have to start happening pretty quickly here if we're not going to get a second draw for Michael. Michael does not play blazingly fast either. I wouldn't call him super slow, but he's pretty calculated with it, and he's already got 1 draw this tournament.
True.
And he's going to play Deceiver Exarch here.
Untapping a land. So that he can also play Threads, I'm guessing?
Yeah, so Taylor has actually stopped him, though, at the part where the island is being targeted, and he's going to Electrolyze Michael with the target the island on the stack. I know it's untapped there, but it's actually not. That's still tapped, yeah.
Interesting.
Electrolyze you, and now all of a sudden Michael has the open door to just steal the Tarmogoyf with Threads.
Well, he was going to steal it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, his play was...
Well, I mean, his opponent had 4 untapped mana.
Well, he was baiting permission with the Exarch. He was trying to get Taylor to counter the Exarch so that Threads would resolve, because Michael cared more about the Threads.
I'm just saying that was a huge swing.
Yeah,
right there.
I feel like Taylor did him a little bit of a favor with the
just
Electrolyze.
Firing
but
off the Electrolyze
I don't
like
think
that?
it changed the way this actual turn played out.
I mean, doesn't Taylor have negate in his hand?
Does he?
I think so. He's got like 5 cards. Yeah, there's a negate right there.
Weird.
This could have been a major misstep here for Taylor. He wanted to get that Electrolyze resolved. He may have drawn the negate off the Electrolyze. That's also possible. But
I can't imagine he would have done that if he had negate in his hand.
Taylor didn't see threads from Michael in the second game, and he might not have known it was there. And just figured.
He knows it exists, given that he won game 2 with it.
Yeah, I mean,
it could be there.
That it was in his opponent's list.
All right.
Because, I mean, if you think your Goyf is just going to stay no matter what, then you can take chances like that.
Taylor goes for main phase Pestermite while Michael is tapped out. Untapping one of his own lands.
So he's got 2 lands untapped?
Yes.
Michael has Kiki-Jiki in his hand here.
Yes.
And could just go for it.
You can't negate Kiki-Jiki.
No. He has the mana to cast Kiki-Jiki as well.
Yes,
and
he does.
He's under the clock. We're going to be in turns here in a minute. All right, he's not going for it this turn, though. He's just battling. So this is, what, 5?
I mean, attacking doesn't stop him from going for it.
It does.
Oh, yeah, it does, of course.
Yeah.
He can still make the guys. He just can't attack with them. Weird.
I mean, he can still cast Kiki-Jiki, but he can't make infinite creatures.
Well, he can. They just don't get to attack. There's no point in making infinite creatures. They don't do anything.
This turn I am,
Yeah, so he just elected not to go for it there. Which is a little scary since he doesn't... I guess he has a lightning bolt up for his opponent's Pestermite.
So he figures if he just taps out...
If his opponent has the mana leak he's representing.
Remand.
Like his opponent went out of his way to leave up 2 mana.
Right.
Could easily have Remand.
Yeah, just Remand Kiki-Jiki. His opponent gets to untap and just kill him. So he just can't do it.
I mean, could hypothetically have had a mana leak, although it doesn't play any.
All right, so we're on turn 1 here. Michael's at 10. He's got to figure he's going to use that lightning bolt on that Pestermite at some point.
Yep.
It looks he does take the damage first here, though, and passes turn
I think that's right. He wants to represent as much.
Bolt you.
Bolt you?
Yes.
He's just planning to win with this
opponent's
Tarmogoyf?
He's like, look, the Tarmogoyf plan's a good one. I'll steal that from you. Thanks.
Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, here's the Snapcaster Mage.
Oh, wow. Snapcaster for the Bolt again.
Yes.
Wow. You know, I would have been tempted if I was Michael to just go for it with Kiki-Jiki there, but his line looks awesome.
Yeah, it was so risky.
Yeah, going for it would have just been, you know, shoving all in.
Without looking at your hand.
Yeah, it's almost blind, right?
It's
no
pretty
backup
reckless.
plan.
Yeah.
It's very reckless. But this line, he got to represent permission. Didn't actually have anybody. Did have a bolt. So if Taylor had gone for a combo kill of his own, he could have bolted the Pestermite. Yeah, fine. Taylor might also have a Dispel or something, but what are you going to do?
Right.
And if Taylor doesn't go for it, either because he chooses not to out of fear for the untapped mana or the Lightning Bolt works, now you get to go Bolt, Snapcaster, Bolt.
Right, the Bolt gets negated.
Sure.
And that leaves Taylor Lane back down to 2 mana, though, which is really the requisite amount here.
Yeah, but he slogged through a negate. Well, I wasn't going to stop Kiki-Jiki. Okay, now he's going to go for it. He's like, all right, I went for the kill one way.
Yes, because now he has Flame Slash mana. So if this goes, like, let's say that
if this thing
gets remanded, he will just snap that fetch.
Wow, Michael
and
had it all.
And that's going to do it. Michael Swales finishes off here in turns and knocks off Taylor Lane as the only purely undefeated player in the field, and keeps his record with no marks in the loss column. At least he does have a draw and almost picked up another one there, but was able to get through.
It's funny. So